Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast for all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time. I'm Pastor Pope, and thank you for allowing us to come into your viewing environment. We are here every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time to address whatever topics you might like to discuss, whatever issues of life you find challenging or that you find difficult to navigate. We are here because God is concerned about that which concerns you. So you can call or text every day now on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. You can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships. So whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind, God is concerned about that which concerns you. So we're here in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, brought to you by Fiji Water. You may already know that Fiji Water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock. The water collects in a natural artesian aquifer where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is Earth's finest water, and I am making certain that we are up and that we are live today here in 3D, so you can now communicate with us not only on Facebook Live, but you can communicate with us on YouTube Live, and of course we're still on our app and on our website. So for those of you who continue giving on the give segment of our app, I want to take a moment to thank you for your support and for your giving, because as you can see, we've expanded the broadcast and we are excited about the expansion. So we thank you for your continued support and for your commitment every month for 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. I want to address a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you do not feel that you have received the recognition or the recognition you desire, both personally and professionally. So I want to say this to you. One of the things you have to remember is that everyone's not going to really sing your praises. People are just, first of all, people will just ignore what you're doing because they're not doing anything. Okay, so I'm just gonna keep it real because everyone knows I will do that. Often people, when they see you doing so much more, they don't want to celebrate you because they feel that they're not doing everything that they can do to be successful. So that's one thing that you have to be aware of. The second fact is your recognition is the results that you achieve. So your results are your recognition. No one can take away your results. No one can take away what you've accomplished. You know, I often tell students this. One thing that no one will ever be able to take away from you is your education. Well, it's the same thing with your success. No one can deny your success. No one can deny your results. And what you have to do is continue doing what you know needs to be done to ensure your success. You have to do what you know needs to be done to continue accomplishing the results that you want to achieve. The truth of the matter is you're suffering from lack of recognition from others. You look to others to justify what you've accomplished. You're seeking love in all the wrong places. Let me use that analogy. You're seeking success recognition for your success from people who are not going to recognize what you're doing. They're not going to recognize your results for decades to come, because they'll justify it by saying they're too busy. They'll justify it by saying a lot of things, but the truth of the matter is, the more results you accomplish, it holds the mirror up in front of their face and holds them accountable. So they're not going to celebrate you. They're not even going to recognize or acknowledge what you've done or what you've accomplished. And you said that's both personally and professionally. So let me start with your family, first of all. And I was getting a little feedback when we started, so I wanted to make sure that everything was correct. But here's the reality. Your family is not going to celebrate what you accomplish because it's just their expectation. They just expect you to accomplish something. And you're struggling with the fact that you've accomplished some great results, but they're not recognizing that. They're not acknowledging what you accomplished. They're not focused on the fact that you and your husband have moved the family forward. Not only in your own household, but even some of your siblings, your extended family. You have continuously moved them forward. I'm going to use a football analogy. In football, the goal is to move the chains. And what that means is that you get 4 downs to get a first down in order to move the chains, so that you continue moving the ball downfield. You keep moving the ball downfield. I don't want to get ahead of myself on my Sunday sermon, but you continue moving the ball downfield and you continue moving the chains, but their theory is they just expect you to move the chains until you get a touchdown, and then they expect you to kick off again and to make sure that your opponent, the enemy, the things that can go wrong in life, that you shut them down 3 and out. Meaning they have 3 opportunities to impede your progress, but that you shut them down and you continue moving on. And you keep moving the chains. But they're not going to acknowledge you moving the chains, because it's just their expectation that you're going to move the chains, that you're going to score, that you're going to get a touchdown, that you're going to build a lead, and nothing's going to keep you from working towards an undefeated season. I'm using a football analogy because it's football season and I've been watching football. So here's the reality. Your family's never going to give you recognition for doing what they think you should just be doing because you should be doing it. That's the reality of most families. So stop looking for family to celebrate you, because they're not. God allowed me to see in that secret place of your life the personalities of those around you. And truth be told, they're very self-consumed. And that's typical in the society in which we live today. So they won't acknowledge what you're doing. They won't celebrate what you're doing. They won't, in some cases, even recognize what you're doing, because it's just become the expectation. You've got to learn to be okay with that, because the only thing that truly matters is the results. Your results are your recognition. And if nobody else acknowledges, take a moment out and just acknowledge what you accomplished yourself. You don't have to acknowledge it in front of anybody else. Acknowledge it to yourself and say, first of all, to God be the glory. Second of all, I'm thankful, God, that you've allowed me to accomplish this goal. And I am really excited about the results that I've achieved. That you can say that to yourself. You know, I used an analogy on one of the previous broadcasts. King David, the king of Israel, had to encourage himself in the Lord because nobody around him was acknowledging what he was doing to lead the country. Nobody was celebrating him. Now, they celebrated him when he went to war and he slayed the giant Goliath, who was 9 feet 6 inches tall. They celebrated him then. And then, you know, they acknowledged by, you know, David, Saul killed 1,000, David has slayed 10,000. They acknowledged that. But then, from then on, nobody had anything to say about what David was doing to lead the country effectively and efficiently. You know, Jesus himself, when he entered into his triumphant entry, preparing for all of us a greater quality of life. One day they were celebrating him, Hosanna, Hosanna. The next day they were yelling, crucify him, crucify him. Listen, you've got to focus on your results. If you keep your eyes on your results, you'll continue to achieve results. If you start looking for people, other people, for recognition and to give you that feeling of accomplishment, you're really going to feel a void because people are not going to do that. They're just not. And particularly not in your own household. Remember, Jesus said that, and among your family, because Jesus said a prophet will not be recognized, not be honored in his own house, his own city, and his own country. He won't be celebrated. You have to look at your results, and your results are your recognition for you and your spouse. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest nationwide 5G provider at no extra charge. So if you are not currently a T-Mobile customer, you can call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will move you over into our queue so that you can become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest nationwide 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill. And if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill at T-Mobile, America's largest nationwide 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you are feeling drained of all your energy and you're constantly tired and you want to know how can you get a renewed energy. So let me share something with you. First of all, I'm going to start with this. And that is that I recently read an article on COVID fatigue. So you need to understand that part of what you're experiencing right now is COVID fatigue because you're drained of all your energy and you are constantly tired. So that's just COVID fatigue that you are experiencing right now. That will change. What God showed me in that secret place of your life is that you don't get enough sleep, so you're going to have to change that. All right, let me begin there. And often many of us don't get enough sleep. You know, we really should get between 7 and 9 hours of sleep every night, and really 8 hours is optimal. So as long as you can get 8 hours of sleep, you're going to be able to function at a high level. You're going to be able to perform at a high level. 8 hours of sleep minimum is really what we need. Can you get by on 7? Yes. I don't recommend it. Okay. And then in addition to that, if you can get anything more than 8 hours or an additional nap from time to time, you're going to find that you will perform at a peak performance. So, are you going to be able to do that every single day? Probably not. But if you get in the routine of doing it, then you'll be able to maximize your sleep. That will give you more energy, and it will keep you from feeling tired all the time. So, I said this and I'm going to say it again. Is it going to happen every single night? Perhaps not. You may awaken in the middle of the night, can't go right back to sleep. You may go to bed a little late because there's something you want to accomplish. I don't encourage anyone to just stay up late watching television just for the purpose of television. I used to do it. I will tell you. I'm an avid sports fan, and for example, the basketball games on the West Coast come on later, so I would stay up and watch the games. But I realized that would cause me to be tired. And when your body is tired, it starts to have an impact on your health because it makes you more susceptible to germs, makes you more susceptible to the flu. It makes you it will not allow you to perform at peak performance. So I decided I'm not playing in the NBA, I'm not playing in the NFL, so I don't necessarily need to stay up. I can watch maybe the first quarter and read the results the following day. So if the game comes on at 9 o'clock, I might stay up until 9:30, knowing that I'm going to get up at 5:30, 6 o'clock, depending on what I have on my calendar, and that still gives me 8 hours of sleep. I'm encouraging you to start getting 8 hours of sleep. And then you want to get some exercise. So exercise is going to be real important in increasing your energy level. So I'll use another practical example, something that I can share with you to relate to what you're going through. So I went out and ran the end of the week, couldn't run over the weekend, ran, and I felt my muscles really tired. So my muscles were exhausted. So I sat in a hot bath and then took a shower and got myself situated. And the weekend went by, and then I ran yesterday. But I determined there was a difference in my run. And the reason there was a difference in my run is not because I hadn't run all weekend, but because I actually didn't put on some of the right equipment that I need to run in. So that challenged me a little bit. But then yesterday, I was able to run in the right equipment. I was able to run, and I was able to wake up this morning feeling as if I can run again today. So I say all of that to say we have to continuously get exercise so that we can really increase our energy level. That's going to increase our energy level by the more exercise we do. So, lifting some weights at home. I wasn't at the gym, but lifting some weights at home, getting a run in, gave me more energy. You're not focused on COVID when you're focused on, getting the right sleep and focused on getting some exercise, and then the next one is eating right. What are your eating habits? So, everyone knows I like desserts, but the reality is that I have to curtail some of that activity, okay? And eat right. So yesterday was a protein day for me. So I ate protein. Now today, I am going to have some carbs. Our monthly contributor, Rebecca Buva, shared with us that you can make changes in your eating habits that don't require you to make the changes every day, but you can do it 3 times a week. You can do it 4 times a week. And you can still enjoy eating without denying yourself completely of the things you enjoy. Now, there are some things you might have to deny yourself completely of. I love ice cream, but I cannot eat ice cream. Ice cream puts weight on me, and I know that it puts weight on me, so therefore I don't eat it. So there are some things, but I love it. I love ice cream, but I'm not going to eat it because there are some things. You've got to get to know your body, and you've got to know your eating habits. And then in addition to that, you've got to drink a lot of water. So they tell us to drink 8 ounce glasses of water every day. So that's 64 fluid ounces of water every day. If you drink bottled water, that's 4 bottles of 16 point whatever ounces of water. That's 64 fluid ounces. However, I'm going to encourage you to do this, and that is try to make the effort to drink a minimum of 4 bottles of water every day, or 64 fluid ounces of water every day. But I'm going to encourage you to take it a little further, and what you would do is drink 50% of your body weight in water every day. 50%. So because of your weight right now, you divide that in half, and that's what you divide it by 2. And that's the number of fluid ounces that you will take in every day to improve your energy level. It's also going to clear out your mind. You know, your body, your brain needs oxygen. And we know that water is H2O, so it's hydrogen and oxygen. So you have to drink more water. And if you do those things, you're going to begin to eliminate COVID fatigue. You're going to be able to get your mind in the right frame so that you can look at life from a different perspective, and you'll find that you have more energy, that you're more energetic, and that you are capable of performing at a much higher level. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by Charles Tyrwhitt, located in London, the UK. They also have stores in New York, Chicago, Washington, D.C., and at the King of Prussia Mall in King of Prussia, Pennsylvania. If you are in any of those areas, stop in at their retail stores. They have everything a man could need. They have shirts for men, ties for men, suits for men, and accessories. If you're not in any of those areas, you can order from from Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com. They will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. And the White Company, located in London, the UK, they also have a store on Fifth Avenue in New York. If you're in New York, stop in at their retail store. They have home goods, clothing for men, women, and children. If you're not in New York, you can order from the White Company at thewhitecompany.com. They too will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. So Charles Tyrwhitt at ctshirts.com and The White Company at thewhitecompany.com. Both companies will ship and deliver right to your front door in an appropriate period of time. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you really want to focus your attention on higher learning. You want to really enhance your religious and spiritual relationship with God, and the problem is you're not certain how or where to begin. So let me address this. I'm going to share with you, first of all, the higher learning aspect first. So in our area, we're located in Delaware, in Wilmington, Delaware. And in our area, we have, in the state of Delaware, if you are a Delaware resident, you have the opportunity. And I mentioned this previously on one of our broadcasts. And all broadcasts are archived for 365 days. So go back and review them. Something that has been said will bless your life. But in Delaware, we have the opportunity, when you're a Delaware resident, at the age of 65, I think it is, you have the opportunity to take free courses. And it may be even younger than that now. But you have the opportunity to take free courses at the University of Delaware. Free. And I'll have to confirm the exact age, but I'm using that as an example to say that look in your area at the universities, whether it's a state university or private university, find out if they have courses that you can take as a resident for free. Because if they do, that's an opportunity. Now, having said that, there are courses that you can take on Coursera.org. I've taken some courses on that program and it is absolutely amazing. You can learn so much information. You can actually take the courses, many of them for free. If you want a certificate to really demonstrate your results, you can pay for this, pay for the certificate program, but you can take courses on Coursera.org. Okay, so it's Coursera.org. You can literally go on there and just apply for the course, take the course online. They're online courses, and you can gain so much information and so much expertise, or you can just sharpen your skills by taking some of those courses. And that will give you the opportunity to enhance your higher learning. And then as far as your religious and spiritual aspect of life, that's something I can give you some real pointers on immediately, and that's good news. Religion is really about relationship with God. We've gotten stuck in what they call old time religion. So, religion was for rules, for us to understand the rules of God, that we could lay a foundation that we could build on for a better quality of life. That's what religion does for everyone. In addition to that, once we got past the understanding of the rules, knowing the rules, right? So you know the rules. Here's a football analogy again. In football, there was recently an onside kick, and the receiving team doesn't have to wait for the ball to travel 10 yards. But the defense has to wait for the ball to travel 10 yards. Well, the offense waited, the ball traveled 10 yards, and the defense jumped on it. And I'm saying all of that to say, once you know the rules, you can perform much better. That's what religion did for us. But then when we get past the rules, it's about relationship. Religion, relationship. Religion was for rules, and now it's about relationship. So you have to establish a relationship with God. And one of the things I tell people to do is make God your partner in everything you do, personally and professionally. You will be amazed at how that will build a better quality of life. Okay, now having said that, the spiritual aspect is about the Spirit of God giving you daily instruction, giving you the opportunity to walk in the Spirit, with the Spirit of God so that you know direction. It will recall everything to your mind that you need to do to be the best version of yourself that you can possibly become. That's what the Spirit does. So if you really want to focus on those things, when your church has opened in your area, begin attending church. Begin there. Every Sunday. Begin there. And read your Bible. Everything you need is right inside. Read your Bible.